Let's go back. Let's read what we seen. So here in Matthew, what do we see? Here's the three questions, right? One, when would these things be? Talking about Jerusalem and the Jews. Two, what's the sign of your coming? Three, tell us about the end of the age. All right? So then we came here and we took a look at verse 4 and 5. So let's read that. And Jesus answered and said to them, all the disciples, no apostles yet. Jesus hadn't died. So at this point right here, Jesus hadn't died. When we come back and look at this, tell me, where are they? Are they here under grace? Or are they here under law? Jesus haven't been raised from the dead. Jesus haven't even died yet. So where are they? You're right. Yes, they're under the law. So everything that Jesus says, what is he talking about? Is he talking about grace? No, of course not. Why? Because they're still under the law. And at this time, the church is only revealed right here under grace. The church is never revealed anywhere else. Why? Because God hid it in himself and he waited to reveal it to Paul. So when Jesus is talking, what is he talking about? He's only talking about and to the people who are under the law. Who's under the law? Was Egypt under the law? No. Was Assyria and Babylon under the law? No. No. Was the Persians and the Romans under the law? No. So who is he talking to? The law only applied to one nation. It was given, and everything under it, in pertaining to the law, is given to a nation. It is not given to individuals. It is given to a nation. And the nation is supposed to obey it. Now, here's the crazy thing about this. I ain't gonna say crazy. Let me rephrase that. Here's how God structured it. Okay? The law was given to a nation and not the individual. Under the law, even if you went through, so here's the law. It was given to Israel. Was the law given to Israel to save Israel? Yes and no. So why? Why the law? That's the question. Here's the answer. Atonement for the Jews? No. No, man. God didn't give the law for atonement. God gave the sacrifices for atonement. Okay? And the high priest came in, what? One time for the sins of who? The people? No. For the sins of Israel, the nation. That's why God never destroyed Israel. The people were wicked, friends. Have you not read the prophets? He kicked them out of the land, just like he kicked the Canaanites out of the land. Why did he kick them out of the land? Because they wasn't obeying the law. The law was given to show them how wicked they were, not to give them forgiveness. The law simply revealed how holy God is and how wicked men are. That's why the law was given. It was the sacrifices given to keep God from destroying the nation to do what? To bring forth the Redeemer. That's why. Now, the individual Jew individual Israelite who happens to be Jews. Okay? How were they saved? How were they saved? They were saved by through faith. They were not saved because they were part of the nation. The nation had a sacrifice, one. These people had to come with their individual lamb. Listen, for family, to keep God from wiping out the family, individual lamb for the person. So when you sin, you have to bring your own sacrifice. That's how they got saved. If they brought the sacrifice, it was showing that they had faith in the sacrifice to get rid of their sins. It had nothing to do, look, what is this? This is the Day of Atonement. So, Day of Atonement. That was for the nation, friends. It was not for the individual. It was to keep the nation alive so God wouldn't kill them all because they were around a holy God. Joshua said, listen, man, you can't serve God. God is holy. What's wrong with you, Jews? You don't want to be messing around with God. He'll kill you. See, no, man, look, you gotta come back to the book. What did the book say? Listen to Joshua. Moses said the same thing, friends. Look at this. Remember that thing where Joshua said, choose you this day? So Joshua called all the children, the elders and the children of God, and he says, hey, I'm old and advanced in age, and the Lord had done to these nations because the Lord fought for you and divided the lot of these nations. Again, why did he kick them out? He said because of their wickedness, not because he wanted to give the land to the Jews. It was his land. And because it was his land, all the earth is his land, friends. So he kicked them out in the part that he wanted. And the Lord your God will expel them and all this good stuff, right? So be courageous and do this and obey God. Therefore, take careful heed to yourselves to do what? Make sure that you're saved. Only people that love God are those that are saved. Or else, if indeed you go back and cling to the remnant, you see, there are people who will love God. They're going to take heed. There are others who love their sin, and they're going to join up with everybody else. And most of the Jews did exactly that. They did not love God. If they did, they would have never got kicked out of the land. They fell back to prove what? That they never trust God. They're going to make marriages with them, which they did. No certain. God won't drive out the people, and he didn't. He's going to set snares, and he did. Behold, this day I am going away to earth. He's going to die. It shall come to pass. All the good things and the bad things are going to happen. Okay? He says, don't go serving other gods. Then he gets here. Joshua continues. He gathers them all together again. He says, hey, look, I want to remind you that your fathers, Terah and Abraham, and the father of Nabal, dwelt on the other side of the river. The other side of the river? Yeah, over in Babylon, of the Chaldeans. And they, who? Abraham, Terah, and Nahor. What did they do? Each one of them served other gods. So was Abraham looking for God? No, he wasn't looking for no God. He was serving other gods. God found him and called him, saved him, and Abraham did what every other believer does. What? Follow God. And God led Abraham from the other side and led him to Canaan and all this good stuff. Isaac and Jacob and all these folks, right? Brought them out of Egypt and crossed the Red Sea, and upon them the eyes and all this good stuff. They wanted to be, Balak wanted Balaam to curse him. God says, no, I'm going to give them the land just like I said. Now therefore, fear the Lord. Serve him in sincerity and truth. Put away. Listen, folks, they still had false gods at this time, even though they spent 40 years in the wilderness wandering because of that mess. Joshua took them and defeated the enemies. Look, even when Joshua was dying, they still had the false gods among them. Folks, what is this saying? A lot of the Jews, man, never followed the one true God. They always followed their false gods. So it's the nation that God saves. The individual's got to be saved just like us. Which your father served on the other side. You see, they had them. They still had the gods of Babylon and Egypt in their possession. Serve the Lord. And it did, why you think he said it? It seems evil to you to serve the Lord. Folks, they said within themselves, I ain't serving no God. I love the idols that I serve. It seemed evil to them. That's why I keep telling you that, listen, folks, God says, hey, if you come against Israel, I will curse those who curse Israel. Why? Israel represents a type. The nation brought forth the Messiah. He ain't talking about the individual Jew, especially those who says it's evil to serve the Lord. Come on, man. Call those rascals out every single time.